Hello. I want to tell you a little story about something that happened to a very dear friend of mine. He said I could tell this story as long as I didn't mention the real names. So we'll call him Jack and we'll call his wife Jill. Jack came from a wealthy family. He was a very well-respected engineer. They had a beautiful home, 2 expensive cars, 2 wonderful sons. They lived the life of Riley. And Jill was a stay-at-home mother who, until her first son was born, worked as an accountant. Now, 8 years later, with the 2 sons both at school, she decided to confront Jack and say that she wanted to go back to work. So they discussed this over a few nights. And Jack saw that she was really determined. She really wanted this. So he said, okay, sure, go back to work part-time. She was happy. So she got the job at the firm that she used to work for before she had her first son. And all seemed to be going honky-dory for the first couple of months, when all of a sudden she came home one night and said, I've accepted the promotion to full-time work that's been offered to me by my boss. There was no discussion. It was a take it or leave it situation. Well, Jack couldn't believe what's going on here. He couldn't understand why her attitude had changed so much. Well, this is really strange. So he said, listen, we've got to talk about this. Who's going to look after the boys? Who's going to take care of the household? And unbelievably, instead of saying, oh, we'll get a house cleaner or we'll get a maid or something, she said, quit your job and become a house husband. He said, what? She says, so you don't think you could do all the work that I've been doing for the past 8 years looking after the household? She said she'd been offered enough money to take care of all the needs. Wow. This came out of left field for Jack. He didn't know what to say. So he came around and saw me and he said, what should I do? Now, I'm not a family consultant, but I did say the best thing to do is go and talk to your father, who is the managing director of the firm where you work. Chat with your old man, who's a great guy. See what he suggests. Which Jack did. Had an open discussion with his father. And his father said, okay, buddy. He said, don't worry. Listen, you give it a go. Don't worry about your job. When you want to return, your job is always here. Mind you, he said, when you want to return, not if. So the old man obviously knew something was going on. He was no fool. So Jack and Jill proceeded with their new lifestyle. Jill went off to work every day, often staying late at the office. Jack stayed home, looked after his boys, did the housework, the cooking, cleaning, even the garden, and still had time up his sleeve. So he joined the mothers' club at school, which was a little bit strange. The boys thought it was funny, but there you go. But somehow it all came too easy. Housework, looking after the boys, which was a great pleasure for him. So he spoke to his father at work, who said, listen, if you've got time up your sleeve, you can work part-time from home. Jack said, fantastic. So he took up his father's offer and did some part-time work from home. Then one evening, while Jack and the boys were preparing dinner, Jill appeared much earlier than normal and joined them at the table. Only one thing, she was in a stinking mood. So Jack and the boys looked at each other and decided not to say a single word. The next night, Jill turned up again, joined them for dinner, then went into her office, which was the spare room, and worked. Anyway, this became a habit. Jack would clean up after dinner. He'd put the boys to bed. Then he'd go grab a beer and watch TV. One night, Jill came out of her office screaming at Jack, calling him a no-good, lazy bastard. All he does is sit down with a beer and watch TV while she's in the office slaving her guts out. She wasn't going to put up with this any longer. She was going to leave. Jack couldn't say a word. He was amazed. He thought, oh, look, let it blow over. I don't know what's going wrong, but just let it blow over and perhaps we can chat about it one night. Well, a couple of weeks later, she's gathered all her goods and moved out. Jack thought, well, I better have a chat with the boys, which he did. The boys were happier that Mum wasn't there because she was a real grouch. Then, a few months later, divorce papers arrived. Now, this is not good, but it is what it is, and they had to go to court to get divorced. But happily, Jack got custody of the two boys. Sure, Jill could see them on Sundays because on Saturdays, Jack and his boys joined me and my boys at the football. So nothing was going to change that. Also, Jack got to keep the house. One of the cars, he was happy to give her car. He wasn't going to fight over that. But he kept his nice flash car. His father had the job waiting for him. So things were turning out peachy for Jack. But it didn't take more than 4 months for Jill to realise what she had done. Along with her full-time job came an affair with her boss, until her boss's wife found out. So she was pretty good at her job, so the boss couldn't sack her, but she was coming home early at nights and doing lots of work from home. And that's why she was in such a stinking mood. She was losing on all fronts. So, as it so happened, she started coming around to see Jack and the boys every night. wanting to join them for dinner, offering to cook dinner, offering to do whatever it took to reconcile. And Jack looked her in the face and said, "No way, Jose. It's over. It's done. Go live your own life. You can come and see the boys on Sundays, but that's it." So ladies, be careful for what you wish for, because it might come true and it'll come and punch you in the face. Not a good look. Thanks for joining me, folks. Please give a like, comment, share, and do subscribe. Doesn't cost anything, and it will make the sun brighter tomorrow. And if you hit the notification bell, the moon will glow at night. Thank you. Keep smiling, stay positive. Until next time, bye for now.